And we're back for another video. Today I'm going to be doing my England starting 11 for Euro 2024. My early thoughts and the starting 11. If you told me tomorrow with all players fit, if you could pick an 11, this would be my team for the England Euro squad. But before we do it, please do smash the like button and do subscribe. Now this is a video I have spent so long contemplating, discussing in my own head, arguing with myself constantly. So let me know down in the comment section below if you disagree or you agree and any players that you feel like missed out on. So let's start off with the goalkeeper position. Now this is a controversial one. I've spoke about it on a previous video. I personally still would start Pickford, and I know, as I've said before, it's a big U-turn on. Previously, I've always said I think Ramsdale should play, but recently I've been looking at Ramsdale and his performances, and I don't think he's been great for Arsenal recently. As I've said before, he's made a few mistakes against Fulham, and this season he's been a little bit shaky, whereas Pickford has had a good start to the season. I know it's easier sometimes to be a good keeper and shine in a side that is down towards the bottom because you're constantly getting tested, you're constantly getting your goal peppered, but I do think Pickford's had some really good performances recently. We know he's good with the ball, and we know he's done it on a big stage, and I think that's one thing when I used to discuss it, I used to really forget like how important he has been for England at these competitions. So I would start Jordan Pickford. Then we'll move over to right back. If he is fit, then I would start Reece James. I think he's probably the best right back in the squad. I know this again is a bit controversial. You've got the likes of Trippier, Walker, Trent, but I think what James does best is he's got all of the best attributes of all those three together. I think he's fast. I think he's really good on the ball. He can become inverted. He's very good defensively overall, and he's very good going forward. So I think he's got the best balance of all of the attributes that the others are so good at. I think probably second choice will probably have Trippier, but that's beside the point because I do think Walker is slowly coming towards the end. It's quite a sad thing to see. I do really like Walker, but right now I think those are the two defenders are probably just above him. So I'd play Reece James at right back. Now on to the centre-back partnerships. Now, this is one that causes a lot of controversy. Obviously, the easiest one would be John Stones. I think John Stones, if he is fit, picks himself. We've seen him for Man City. I know he's been playing as a bit of a holding midfielder, kind of versatile role where centre-backs bomb on forward, and it's something we've never seen. But I think as a centre-back, he's definitely our best centre-back in the squad. We've seen how good he's been for Man City in their treble-winning side. We've seen how good he's been for England. He's a leader. I really like him as a footballer, and I think on the ball as well, he offers you so much. So I think John Stones has got to be that centre-back. Now, the other centre-back, now this is where it becomes an interesting one. Do you think forward and think potentially Levi Colwill? But I think if I was picking it now, I don't think you can pick a player thinking, oh, potentially in the future he may improve. So I wouldn't play him. Obviously, I wouldn't be playing Harry Maguire. I do think I'd probably be playing Lewis Dunk. On form right now, I think he's so good, and I've spoken about it in previous videos. I think right now he's a really underrated player, and he's got. I know he hasn't got great experience with the side, as in the England side, but he's been in the squad before. He knows what it's like. I know he's only played a couple of times, but as a player, he's been absolutely a pivotal player, so vital for Brighton pushing on forward. So I think he's got to play, if I'm honest. Form-wise, it's been a joke. He's about to play European football, so he's going to be playing on a big stage. So I would play Lewis Dunk and John Stones, two ball-playing centre-backs, which it feels ridiculous saying. Then left-back. Now, this is where I struggle. It's Luke Shaw or Chilwell. Now, this is one that you can go back and forth, discuss constantly. And as much as I properly don't rate Luke Shaw as a defender, and I say this all the time, I think for Man United he's a completely different player. But for England, this guy is a joke. So I probably would be playing Luke Shaw over Ben Chilwell, which feels like a bit ludicrous with some of my opinions I've said in the past. But for what he's done for England and things like that, and when he's fit on his day in that England side, he kind of plays as a left winger, really, let's be honest. And he's allowed to bomb on forward, and you see he's like a different man. His confidence is insane. So I probably would be playing Luke Shaw as a left back. So my back four would be Reece James, Lewis Dunk, John Stones, and Luke Shaw. I think that's a really strong back four. Now on to the midfield, and now this is the one where it causes lots of discussions, lots of debates, a bit of controversy, but I think the two that pick themselves, I'll be playing a 4-3-3 in this formation, by the way, I haven't said that already. So I'll be playing my box-to-box midfielders as Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham, with Declan Rice sitting a little bit more, Jude Bellingham with more of a role to bomb on forwards, allow him to be that attacking threat that we've seen him do at Real Madrid and at Borussia Dortmund. And I think those two work really well. I think those two, let's be honest, pick themselves because we know how good they have been, especially in the World Cup. They were both great, and Declan Rice being so great in the Euros before. So I think those two pick themselves, let's be honest. Now, the number 10 one is the position that causes a lot of controversy as well. Now, it's whether you want Maddison or Foden. Now, if I was picking for the Euros, I personally would lean towards more so Foden in this situation. And I know this probably will cause a little bit of controversy, but this is for the Euro. So if I wanted them on a European stage, I would want Phil Foden in that position. Yes, I know I said I wanted Maddison against Ukraine in the qualifiers, but I want in the Euro, so I would want Phil Foden, just purely because he's a treble-winning player, and right now he's played in the World Cup, he's been on that main stage, he's delivered, he played quite well in the recent World Cup. He didn't have the best tournament, but he played quite well, he was very effective, and we've seen him playing that number 10 role for Man City recently, and I do think he's only going to flourish. So I would probably play Phil Foden in that position in the Euros because, as I said, I just think he really suits that position. It's a position that he played in a lot of his youth career. He's played it for England in the under-21 setup. I think it's only naturally that we've always said he would move from that winger position and kind of turn into that number 10 player. And we've seen how well he's filled Kevin De Bruyne's boots. So I would personally play Phil Foden in that number 10 role. Then on the left, I would play Jack Grealish. I think Jack Grealish is so good. He offers something so different. There's no winger like it in the England squad that can offer you what Jack Grealish can offer you. He's a player that no matter what winds up oppositions. That's just to start off with. That's one of my favourite things about him. But then not only that, we talk about the dribbling. There is no one like it. The other players that could be playing in that left wing position, you think of the likes of Rashford. Rashford offers you is a completely different player. A player that I always think is great as an impact sub when you want to throw him on. Whereas Jack Grealish can take the game by the scruff of his neck, decide, dictate tempo. We've seen it at Man City when he gets the ball from deep. He runs at players, he wins you fouls. He offers you so much more than anything right now. Because I think in this, when he's been in that Man City side, he's improved his game. He retains the ball so well. His decision making is so much better. And we saw how good he was in that World Cup. So I would be playing Jack Grealish on that left. Then on the right hand side, I'll be playing Starboy, Bukayo Saka, and I've said it before. I think he's one of the only players that picks themselves. Like, let's be honest, he is so good. And in English, he has been very effective. And I just really like him. And I think with him and Jack Grealish on either side, especially with both players playing, you'd have Bukayo Saka cutting in on his left, and then on the left you'd be having Jack Grealish cutting in onto his right. Just offers you something a bit different. It kind of then everything gravitates towards the goal because we're not a big side. We're not a side that's going to be whipping the balls in, winning headers and things like that. We're good defensively and good in the air, but that's not the way we play. Let's be honest, we're playing really nice, methodical football where we're going to be then cutting it back and things like that to players arriving late, like your likes of Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden, and then up top I'd want Harry Kane. Let's be honest, we say it every time. I'll give him stick. I joke about how he let his country down and things like that. I've said that in the past, but let's be honest, he is the best striker for England. It's not even a discussion, is it? You look at the likes of the players that really compete, and your likes of Ollie Watkins, Callum Wilson, Eddie Nketiah, Tammy Abraham. They're nowhere near. Let's be honest. Like, you think how good that he is as a striker. He just offers you so much. And I think with him dropping in, because he just sometimes drops into the number 10 role, with the likes of Bukayo Saka, who will cut in, the likes of Grealish, they'll offer something going forward in that position. And you Phil Foden kind of moving around, Jude Bellingham, as I said, arriving late, with Declan Rice kind of just sitting. I think this is the perfect blend for the 11. So I will run it past through again. So my England starting 11 in the Euro 2024, if I had to pick it right now, I would start in goal Jordan Pickford. I'd play right back Reece James, centre backs of John Stones and Lewis Dunk, then Luke Shaw at left back, a midfield three of Declan Rice as the sitting one, Jude Bellingham as the box-to-box midfielder in the number 10 position, Phil Foden, then on the left I play Jack Grealish, and on the right I play Bukayo Saka, and then up top I would play Harry Kane. Phil Foden's got to start in that number 10 because I think he has done it on a big stage. He's a treble winner, and I think in a Euros you need that kind of experience on the big stage, playing in Champions League finals and things. But I do think that side, let's be honest, could win the Euros. I know it sounds absolutely obscene saying, but it's a very, very strong side. As I said, let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on that team, and I'd love to hear what you're thinking. Thank you for watching. Peace.